Hi, thanks so much for your time for this interview with the Bridge India. It's a
My
pleasure
pleasure entire.
to be meeting you online. This interview is important because on 4th February every year we observe the World Cancer Day, and the day
Yeah.
marks an important occasion for us to connect with the cancer community to understand the magnitude of this mounting health challenge and how are we prepared to address it. Also, the fact is that the global cancer burden is expected to be over 28 million cases in 2040, which is a massive 47% rise from 2020. Also, the fact that the developing countries have only 5% of the world's resources for cancer treatment, prevention, care, and research, while these countries are home to two-thirds of the world's cancer patients. And our greater concern is also the fact that 70% of these patients are only diagnosed at the terminal stage since awareness is greatly low. And most people are unaware of the fact that half the cancers are curable if detected early. So your role here, yeah, is a pleasure for us to connect with you. And we would like, you to begin with the most important fact that how do you think cancer awareness can play an important role in this prevention?
Very much, Jyoti. My pleasure entirely to interact with you today. Awareness. There is so much of ignorance about small things which are which just grow to a magnitude where it is beyond your control anymore. And the small things are there basically only two causes of cancer. Okay. One is genetic and the other is lifestyle choices. When it comes to genetic, the only way of handling it is to be screening yourself regularly, knowing that you have a history in your family, so that you can catch it at the 0 stage, which is very possible. And then it is entirely curable. Practically every cancer caught from 0 to 1 stage is 100% curable. Then it comes to lifestyle choices. Now, here, what the main thing is that when we look at, there's a lot of things which are beyond us, which we cannot cure. But we have to look at basically lifestyle choices, okay? We cannot control pollution, okay? We have to live where we have to live if you have to earn a living, okay? Everything, all foods are practically genetically modified, okay? Which mutate, but how much can you go back to nature? So you have to just be selective in your approach. When we just put everything on, say, okay, don't have tobacco, don't have, don't smoke, don't have tobacco, don't do this. It's not an encompassing kind of a statement. Okay, somebody who has maybe 1 or 2 cigarettes in a week or something is hardly at a risk, if you ask. There's more chances of him being hit by a truck. Okay, but the same thing is that we need to be a little more careful about how we can minimize the risk. That is where we are coming. So when we speak to people, we teach them how to minimize the risk. They cannot go into the Himalayas and live there in the pure air and eat everything which is straight from the land. They'll be fine. But if you have to live in cities, you have to take what you get. You need to be, rather than either sweeping it under the carpet and pretend it doesn't exist, or going the other way and saying, okay, I'm going to take sannyas. So that is about it. So the only 2 reasons we are trying to promote that in a healthy manner. It's the same thing as if when it comes to alcohol, that you cannot just, there's no question of just saying, okay, don't have a drink. Everything in moderation is not going to hurt you. It's when you go over. So that is where we try and educate people so that they don't feel that just by, they have to stop living in order to avoid the dreaded C word.
World Cancer Day, this time we have the theme of closing the care gap. So this is
Yes.
also, this brings us to the role of, eminent organizations like yours. We would like to know that how is GCCI going in this direction of closing the care gap? What's your approach? What's your initiative? Something more on that.
See, care gap at this present moment and a very urgent need, like I mentioned earlier, was for hospices and daycare centers. Okay, here at this present moment, we are in a free fall moment. Okay, we have a number, our cancer cases are going up. Okay, there are no caregiver facilities available across the board, across every level of society. It is coming. It is coming. People are aware of it, and they're trying to set up organizations for training caregivers or whatever. But it is a very, very, very small drop in the ocean. We need to really, how would I put it? I said what we would really need to do is educate the educated and and once they are on board, that this is not a social aberration, that it is the accepted norm, are less, let's say, our more ignorant masses would follow suit. But like for the last 25 years, we have been working from the bottom to the top. We have been looking after BPL level patients, and we have been catering to them. And then we suddenly this year, when we were sitting and doing a complete analysis of what we did in the last 25 years, we find that what we need to do is educate the educated, educate the haves, for them to be leaning on hospices and daycare centers. And automatically everybody will follow suit. It has to come from the top down.
Thank you so much for this great interview, Ms. Singh. Whilst we sign off, we'd like to have your message to the community and to the patients and their respective families, on the World Cancer Day, and how do you think that, they should be more aware overall about this and their fight should be on, and how everybody should be part of this process.